Hello guys, Robat1 here coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, I'm going to be showcasing to you the Egyptian God Slifer the Sky Dragon structure deck opening and also deck profile. So I'm going to be opening one of these to show you guys what's actually in the structure deck, to show you guys what you can potentially be getting, and then I'm going to actually put 3 of these structure decks together because I do have more. I've got another one here and I've got another one over there, and I'm going to be putting these together, showing you guys what you can actually make with just the 3 structure decks in general, because I've kind of gained, well, an appreciation for, well, just structure decks in general and sealed only play after like playing the sealed only league for so long. And we're basically going to be showing you an opening and a actual deck profile of a £30 budget Slifer the Sky Dragon structure deck. So guys, we're going to be getting into this Slifer the Sky Dragon structure deck, my favorite Egyptian god card. There is no Egyptian god card that I think is better than Slifer, by miles. You get the lovely playmat here, which I think is just like the rubber mat that I've seen, like with the Fist of Fate from the Obelisk this Tormentor, as you can see. And then you've also got Slifer the Sky Dragon with Thunder Force Strike, as you can see here. And honestly, it's a really nice mat. I've seen rubber mats going in remote duels, but I'm not currently doing remote duel locals and stuff because I've been going to actual locals and hanging out with friends to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's been me, but we are going to go ahead and open this, and we are going to build a deck out of this, and hopefully it just looks really good. And I'm sorry if there is any noise from the background, guys. The neighbors are still having slight construction done on their building, on their roof, and I do currently have brother in the room, but yeah, we're going to get into this, we're going to look at the deck, and then we're going to see what we can build out of it. So let's go ahead and open the best Egyptian god card in my personal opinion and see what we've got here. So, Slifer the Sky Dragon structure deck, let's go. So, starting off, we obviously have the best Egyptian god card out there, Slifer the Sky Dragon, the only, the one, and I know I said that wrong, but it's the one and the only. And honestly, he is the best Egyptian god card to me for two reasons. One, he can technically be the biggest Egyptian god card outside of the Winged Dragon of Ra, paying all your life points but 100 life points to make it 7,900. And 2, he is the only god card that is a floodgate monster, in the fact that if your opponent summons a monster in attack mode, it loses 2,000 attack, and if that attack points go to 0, that monster dies. So Slifer the Sky Dragon literally says, I'm gonna kill everything. No matter what, if you summon it in attack mode, it's dying, it's not staying on the board. So Slifer the Sky Dragon, first card, honestly, favorite god card, and in my opinion, the best god card. Next we have Soul's Crossing. They changed the name. I'm pretty sure this was called Exchanging Souls in the OCG. So they've changed the name of this, but this is actually a really good card as well, because during the mains phase, immediately after this card effect resolves, you contribute summon 1 Divine Beast monster, and when you do, you contribute monsters that your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. But so pretty much what this says is, you tribute your opponent's monsters for your Egyptian god card. So your opponent has 3 monsters, you tribute them, and they're gone. You don't care, and it doesn't target them either. So it's not like exchanging souls. So it's like literally just deals with it. It's like, or soul exchange, sorry. So it's just like deals with it, gone. You can now tribute summon your Egyptian god, which is really good. The only restriction to this though is that after this effect resolves until the end of the next turn, or your next turn, until the end of the next turn after this card resolves, you can only activate 1 card or effect except Divine Beast cards. So like it does have that one restriction on it, kind of putting it a bit of a disadvantage. But I think if you summon Slifer, the card that literally says, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, well, you can't have monsters because they're gonna die, I think that's pretty decent though. Next, Thunder Force Attack. We have it in English now. Makes me very happy after opening the Prismatic God boxes. And honestly, this card is insane because this card literally cannot be negated. You can't activate anything to this card because their activation and effects cannot be negated. Like literally, it says you can't negate it. And if you control Slifer the Sky Dragon, you destroy as many monsters, face-up monsters as your opponent controls, and if you do it during your main phase, you basically say, oh, I'm going to draw cards up to the number of monsters destroyed, so if I draw like 5, because I popped 5 monsters, or even 6, Slifer the Sky Dragon goes up to 6k by 6k. So, just really, really good card in my personal opinion, but it does also have a slight restriction where you can only attack with 1 monster that turn, but let's be honest, 6k Slifer the Sky Dragon, 8k Slifer the Sky Dragon, 9k Slifer the Sky Dragon, I'm not going to have any issues attacking with that big boy. So yeah, it's Thunder Force attack, very, very cool to have and very nice to see. Millennium Seeker, this is a new card. This is actually a new card that I haven't seen before, and this is basically when you take 1000 or more battle or effect damage, you can special this card from your hand. You take one monster in your opponent's graveyard, except a monster with question mark attack. Your opponent chooses one monster from their deck, except a monster with question mark attack. If they choose not to choose a monster from their deck, or if the targeted monster has higher attack than the chosen monster, special summon the targeted monster to your field, and if you do, shuffle the chosen monster back into the deck. Otherwise, your opponent adds the chosen monster to the hand. So this is Shadi from the anime to begin with. Like, this is Shadi. He's got the Millennium Ring. He's basically holding the feather of truth or something. It's Egyptian lore with your heart, with someone's heart, to balance them out, like with the Millennium Scales. But this is actually a pretty decent card if you think about it in just like general. Like, it's not a good card by any stretch of the imagination. You take damage, you special summon it, sure. You special summon it, you choose the monster from your opponent's graveyard. If they choose a monster that has more attack than it, less than attack than it, they add it to their hand. Otherwise, you go ahead and special summon the monster. But this card is actually pretty cool for the god decks, just for the fact that you can't target Slifer, because it's got a question mark attack points, so if the opponent won't be able to do it in that case. But it's just a bit way to get a free summon and steal opponent's monsters from graveyard. So if you're stealing like a god card, then that means you can steal like maybe Obelisk or something if you go up against the Egyptian god deck. I mean, if you can reveal a monster higher than Obelisk, I guess. But that's actually, you know, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if the targeted monster has higher attack than the chosen monster, special summon the targeted monster. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's basically saying you want that bigger monster, I want that little monster. Well, or you can't have that little monster. Stuff like that. Osmond Divine Beast. This is another really cool card that came from the OCG. Because what this does is, whenever your opponent monster declares an attack, you can discard a spell or trap card and special summon a Divine Beast monster from graveyard. And during the end phase, if you control a Divine Beast monster, you can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls that have activated their effects that turn. So this is just a really decent trap card. Tellus the Little Fairy. Now this is actually a new card as well. In the fact that this basically says, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can summon one Tellus token. Wing token, and if you control a Tellus Wing token, you can banish this card from your graveyard, even if it's the turn it was sent to the graveyard, plus one spell card to basically summon 2 more tokens. So this is basically a way to quick get 3 monsters on the board to have your ability to summon Slifer the Sky Dragon. So if you have like Valhalla and stuff, then you can just free summon this, link it off into Almirage, and then special summon 3 tokens, and then tribute into like your Slifer the Sky Dragon, for instance. So this is actually a pretty decent card that I think came out in this structure deck that just makes the gods a little easier to summon, because it's always hard to get those 3 tokens on board. Reactor Slime. So this is basically a card that came out in Rage of Ra as well, where during the main phase, you can special summon 2 slime tokens. You cannot normal summon a special monster for this turn except for Divine Beast monsters. And during the battle phase, you can tribute this card and then set a Metal Reflex Slime from the deck. So that's pretty much what that does. And this is the best card in the entire structure deck. If you're buying the structure deck, this is the best card, and that is Harpy's Feather Duster. A bit like glare over there. Harpy's Feather Duster is the best reprint in this set. We all know what it does, and if you're buying the structure deck, you're most likely buying it for the Harpy's Feather Duster. But hey, we're buying this to actually play this because we're actually going to have a duel with this with my mate. So let's see what happens with that. But yes, and then we go on to all the common cards in the deck. We've got Breaker the Magical Warrior, Beast King Barbaros, Nine-Tailed Fox, just more ways to get free summons, Phantom Sky Blaster, more tokens, Card Guard. This card actually allows you to remove its card counter to basically protect a card from being destroyed once. Caligo Claw Crow, free summon if you control Dark. Electromagnetic Turtle. This is actually kind of a cool reprint, just the fact that during your opponent's battle phase, you can banish this card and then just end the battle phase. That's actually something that was pretty good back in the day. Breaker the Dark Magical Warrior. This is the tribute summon of Breaker where it gains more counters and can basically have more pops. Scapegoat. Terrible card, but probably really good in this, seeing as we're making a deck out of it. Arima the Wicked Warden. This is the thing that searches Lair of Darkness and contribute dark monsters to draw a card or add a dark monster with 2,000 or more defense, if I remember right, yeah. And you get 2 of them? Okay, you get 3 of them. Okay, fair enough. Lair of Darkness is probably in here. I haven't actually read the deck card list. Duke Shade, the Sinister Shadow Lord. This is actually something as well that it's just a free summon. If I remember right, you contribute any number of dark monsters, especially this card from your hand. Yeah, it's just a free summon. The Clock Wyvern, more token generation. The shooter's pretty decent actually, and that actually means that this is a bit more useful in the structure deck because you can go ahead and tribute it and then add the shooter, so that's actually pretty good because it's got 2,500 defense. Swords Revealing Light, kind of cool reprint there as well. If you like the old days, Monster Reborn, always nice to have more Monster Reborns. You know how it is. Book of Moon, nice reprint in general. Like I'm probably gonna get some of these for the Sealed in the League as well, just because like the Harpy's Feather Duster and like Book of Moon, that's actually pretty decent. Enemy Controller, pretty decent card as well. Tribute your monster, steal an opponent's monster. Port of Avarice, ways to recycle monsters in the deck. I don't know if we would be using it, but not bad. March of the Monarchs, protect our tribute summon monsters, gives Slifer more protection. I see no issue with that. Supply Squad, pretty good card as well. Your monster destroyed by battle or card effect, you draw a card, pretty decent. Card Advance, this is actually a card that I play in a god deck that I was playing before this actually exists, because basically you just look at the top 5 cards of your deck, stack your deck in any way order you want, and then you get the additional normal summon that turn. So if you do have 3 monsters, you can contribute summon into your god, so pretty good. The True Name, the worst search card ever invented, because basically what this card does is you can declare one name, activate the top card of your deck, and if you declare it right, you add that card to your hand. Then you can add to your hand one or special summon one Divine Beast monster from your deck, otherwise send it to the graveyard. So it's the only technical way to summon the gods outside of Man of the Band Creator, where you have to pop it, but it's just like it's not a good card. One-time passcode, okay, that's just a free token again. Lair of Darkness, like it's the search isn't here, it's gonna be here. Draw of Fate, this is a card that allows you to stack your deck if I'm not mistaken. If your life points are lower than your opponent's and your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack on the field, even if it's tied, reveal 3 cards with different names from your deck, place them on top of your deck in random order, then draw 1 card. For the rest of this turn, after this effect resolves, you cannot special summon you cannot set spells or traps, and also you can only activate 1 more card or effect. So 3 random cards with different names. Like this card isn't good, but I guess we would have to use it with the true name, maybe wait 2 turns and then draw and then declare the last card that we stacked, or take the risk and take the 50-50 in it. Mirror Force, decent card in general just for the deck. Reckless Greed, I remember Reckless Greed being sick back in the day, just drawing 6 cards out of nowhere, pretty good. Metal Reflex Slime, we have Reactor Slime, so it makes sense. The Golden Apple, okay. Back to Front, Free Revival, pretty decent. And then we've just got these little promotion cards with like Thunder Force Strike. I might actually use this token, this actually looks pretty cool. Thunder Force Strike, with the beginner's guide, just scan a little bit there, and then you've got King's Court as well on the other side. Like I'm probably gonna have to pick up some of this as well because I actually want to build a proper Slifer deck. So yeah, but that is the opening portion of this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, but now we're going to move over to the deck profile portion where I put 3 of these structure decks together and see what we can actually make for you guys to like maybe play with your friends, maybe try and take it to a locals, or get some ideas of what you can make with like a £30 budget. So guys, let's go ahead and move over to that. All right guys, so I have put together the 3 structure decks. You can see all the bulk here, like so much bulk of the Egyptian Gods, Slifer, and Sky Dragon decks, and 2 Harpy's Feather Duster, yay! And I have kind of constructed a deck out of the 3 structure decks and made a Slifer deck that I think will work pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, this won't be the most competitive deck of all time, but if you want to just build a Slifer deck with the 3 structure decks and nothing else, and you just want to play the deck that way, I think this will work. And honestly, I do love the deck. This is actually going to be a deck that we're going to play against the Obelisk the Tormentor version of this, that I'm probably going to be having a duel with either this week or next week with my mate, where we'll both be using the Slifer and Obelisk deck either or, and we'll basically see who will win with that deck. But just to show you guys the deck profile, to show you guys what you can actually build with the Slifer Sky Dragon deck, let's actually get into it and show you guys basically the cards that I've kind of chosen that to make a Slifer Sky Dragon deck viable with just the Slifer Sky Dragon deck. So let's go ahead and show you guys. So starting off, obviously we play the 2 Slifer the Sky Dragon. He is a brick up multiples, so you do not want to play more than 2 of him, so we are only playing 2 of Slifer the Sky Dragon in our deck. He is also searchable though, guys, so don't worry if you do want to get into your hand a bit easier. You can also play him up 1, because if you feel like you just want to have the one Slifer Sky Dragon, you can play him at 1. But I choose to play him at 2. I don't want to play him at 3 because drawing multiples of him is not going to be very good. So we only need the 2 Slifer Sky Dragon. Next we play 3 Reactor Slime, because basically this says normal summon, special summon 2 of your slime tokens, and then basically you just go ahead and activate a card that gives you an additional normal summon and summon Slifer the Sky Dragon from your hand. He is literally the best normal summon in the deck, because he says, oh, normal, 2 tokens, that's your free tributes you need for Slifer the Sky Dragon, so you get Slifer the Sky Dragon out. Also, you can do, during the main battle phase, just tribute him to go ahead and get a Metal Reflex Slime, so you have a big 3k defense if you do not have Slifer and Sky Dragon in your hand, or a way to actually get Slifer Sky Dragon at that point in time. So you do have things like that to be able to play around it. Next we play 3 Scapegoat, because this card gives us more tokens as well. You just want to play a lot of cards in the deck that give you token generation, so I feel like 3 Scapegoats, 3 Reactor Slime is good, because basically, oh, this gets flipped face up, you summon 3 full count tokens. If your opponent can't clear the count tokens, then you just go ahead and tribute summon Slifer the Sky Dragon, or just basically have a very big wall to basically protect yourself with. So 3 Scapegoats. Next we play 2 Tenyi the Shooter. He's just very good because, one, if you do have tokens on the board, they count as normal monsters, basically banish them from the graveyard or the field, and just basically say, oh, banish, return a card to your opponent's hand. Pretty good there as well. And also he's a free special summon, so you special summon him in defense, and he just protects your as a big butt. Like, legit, when you're thinking about this deck, you got to kind of think about some protection, along with also just like having ways to put bodies on the board. And Vishuda, Scapegoat, these cards are all cards that will put bodies on the board. Next we also play 2 Electromagnetic Turtle. It's got a big defense as well, just like the Vishuda, and also has a really good effect where if it's your opponent's battle phase, you can banish it and just end the battle phase. So basically it's just a way to say, oh, you can try and go to the battle phase, but I'm going to survive another turn. So we want as many turns as we can actually have to get to our Slifer the Sky Dragon, or make our Slifer the Sky Dragon bigger. So we want to play 2 Electromagnetic Turtle for that. Those are the only monsters. Honestly, I did want to kind of fit in the new cards, like the lovely Telius Little Angel here, but the thing is, there's no real consistent way to get her into the graveyard to basically utilize her effect to get the free count tokens on the board, so you kind of can't really do it. But if you're playing a normal build where you're playing actually out cards outside of the deck, such as maybe like Almirage or Link 1s that you can actually abuse with it, then you would in fact go ahead and just banish her, use her with, like, instead of like the Reflect Slime or the Scapegoats. So you would basically do stuff like that, but because we don't have the stuff like Almirage and that in the structure deck, we're not playing them because we're playing a pure structure deck, £30 budget down, £30 budget deck here. So yeah, but for spells though, we play 3 of the True Name. This is, as we know, our searcher for Slifer the Sky Dragon. Declare the top card of our deck. If we get it right, add the card to the hand, and then just search or special summon Slifer the Sky Dragon from the deck. So just really good. It's our only real way to search Slifer, so you gotta play 3 of it and just take that gamble. It can hurt at times, but we do have ways to stack our deck, so it can have synergy with other cards. 3 Souls of Crossing, because this card says tribute 3 monsters on either player's board, and then put summon Slifer with the Sky Dragon from your hand. Like, I want easy ways to slice the Slifer with the Sky Dragon. I would rather tribute my opponent's monsters. I can do this during my opponent's turn because it is a quick effect, so why not do it? Next, we also play 3 Card Advance. This is the card that you will mainly want to be drawing with your True Name, because if you draw a Card Advance with True Name, you just go ahead and stack your deck with this card, gain the additional tribute summon, then you use True Name, declare the card that you put on top, literally any of those 5 cards is basically stack your deck, put a 2-card pot of prosperity, and you get to add that card to your hand, and you also get Slifer the Sky Dragon, so you could get a card that would allow you to gain, I don't know, all the counters you need, such as maybe the tokens you need, such as the Reactive Slime to your hand, so you can go ahead and tribute into Slifer the Sky Dragon. Like, there's no real reason not to, and your Slifer should be on 3k if you're going first, so it'll be a big boy. Next, we also play 3 Book of Moon, just for more protection purposes. It literally just says, oh, you're going to attempt to do something, well, I'm going to click Book of Moon, set your monster, and we go from there. 2 Thunder Force Attack. Basically, if we don't control Slifer the Sky Dragon, this card does nothing, so I feel like 2 is the correct number. I want to at least have ways to draw it, and I don't want it to be at 1, because then we'll never see it. So we're playing 2 Thunder Force Attack, and it's just a really strong card, and it's a brick without Slifer, so I feel like just 2's the number, because we need to be able to do this. And as we all know, we can just use the card advance to stack our deck if we do already have something like the Reactor Slime, to put this in our hands so we basically have a Raigeki for our opponent's turn, or just for our own turn to gain a ton of draws. We also played 2 March of the Monarchs, because this card says Slifer the Sky Dragon is protected, because you just tribute Slifer the Sky Dragon. It can no longer be destroyed by card effects, and it cannot be targeted by card effects either. So no imperming it, no negating it. Only real card in the game that can stop it is Droplets. Simple as that. Then 1 Monster Reborn, it summons Slifer the Sky Dragon from the graveyard, attack the game. It could happen. And 1 Harpy's Feather Duster to have ways to just clear our opponent's back row. Like, obviously we want back row removal, and Harpy's Feather Duster is in here, so we're playing it regardless. Those are the spells. I just wanted, like, the spells are very kind of obvious. Like, they're just protection and also just getting to the consistencies. Like, honestly, protection, consistency is in the true name here. It's the most consistent card in the deck. And we've got the Crossing Souls, which just gives us Slifer the Sky Dragon summon. It's stacking our deck, making the true name work, and also giving us additional tribute summon, protection, and then reborn and protection. So just the structure deck there as it is. And then into traps, we go into 3 of the Ultimate Divine Beast. I want to be able to revive Slifer the Sky Dragon as consistently as possible, so this card says that, and I can basically wipe my opponent's board sometimes with this card, so I want to draw this card, and I don't consider this a brick, because if I discard Slifer the Sky Dragon or send it to the graveyard by some means as well, even though we can't really discard Slifer the Sky Dragon, I'm not going to lie, but if we do, like, use true name and cool wrong, and it's Slifer that puts it in the graveyard, then it just basically revives ability for gods, and it's just really good for protection purposes as well. 3 Reckless Greed for more consistency. Like, if we draw multiples of these, we draw 4, we draw 6, like, those 2 draw phases are going to mean nothing if we just draw 2 good cards, so it's fine. Then 3 Mirror Force, because it's Mirror Force, like, it's just a really good card in general. Opponent declares an attack, Mirror Force, wipe their board. No one ever expects it nowadays, but you're going to play that 3 in here regardless. And then finally, 1 Metal Reflect Slime, because, well, we're playing the free Reactor Slime, and if we open a hand that doesn't really have a way to get us to Slifer the Sky Dragon, or we don't have a hand that can allow us to gain an additional tribute, then we just go Battle Phase and then set the Reflect Slime directly from our deck. And guys, just a little hint, if you ever get this, if you play this deck with that, like other cards as well, you could also just go ahead and tribute this, get the metal free, the Egyptian God Slime, and then that could count as free tributes for a Divine Beast. So just a little know-how there as well. But that's pretty much the deck out of the 3 structure decks. Like, honestly, I tried to make this as consistent as possible while also being protecting as possible. Like, there are a lot of other cards that we could potentially play in here in the structure deck. Like, I don't know, the enemy controllers, the back to the front for more revival purposes, more metal reflect slime. Lair of Darkness, reason for this is I just don't feel like there's enough tributing based cards in here. Supply Squad, but we're not playing a lot of monsters either, so I didn't really see the point in that. A third Vishuda, like, there's so many different cards you could have actually played in here. But I just felt like this was the correct ratio of things for the deck that we've got here. So, guys, that is the Slifer the Sky Dragon opening / 30-pound deck profile of the deck. Tell me your thoughts on this deck profile in the comments section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Is there anything you would actually change if you were to just build this deck with just like the 3 structure decks in general? I'd love to know that. And if there's anything you would actually add into the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! To be able to make this deck better, please say in the comment section as well, because I do plan on actually trying to make a deck profile of the Slifer the Sky Dragon with actual competitive cards, and maybe even take it to a locals at some point and just try to make it work and, you know, summon Slifer for games. So that'd be really, really cool. But guys, that is all I have to say in this video. I hope you did enjoy. We will be doing this for the Obelisk the Tormentor decks as well, so I hope you will be looking out for that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more of your videos. Check the links in the description for my Instagram, Discord, and everything along those lines. And yeah, guys, Slifer the Sky Dragon's the best. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later all.